Good evening, everybody. It is October 3. These are the days of our lives. So, as we know, I know that when a birthday comes up, we got 24 hours to make it count, to enjoy the love, to receive the calls, whatever we got going on. We got 24 hours, and not even 24 hours for real. Like, however many hours that we're actually awake. So, I think I was awake for 15, 16 hours of the day. And yeah, I did what I could. I enjoyed parts of it. Some parts I didn't enjoy. But I want to call that first world problems, as I called it earlier, meaning not in the typical sense of first world problems, like complaining that, like my steak was a little too crispy or something like that. That's like a traditional first world problem. Like there's people hungry and starving in other countries, and then you're here complaining about your food being too well done in this restaurant that you could go and afford and pay for and all that. But first world problem in a sense of, okay, I went to like a TV talk show and didn't enjoy it. That's not the end of the world. Um, Overall, my day was cool. My day was good. So I'm just up now, procrastinating as usual. I was trying to watch a little feeds, but the feeds were not feeding me. So I turned it off because what I was watching in the feeds was MJ, Cam, and Chelsea sitting in the HOH room and chatting about the final competition and discussing what has happened on different days and studying. Like, that's not entertaining. It was entertaining to me once. When it was entertaining to me was when I was watching Taylor and Monty go through it. But I think that I would be more entertained by the studying once we're actually at final three. Like at final five, I'm less entertained because I know we still have. Is today Thursday? Yeah, today is our 2-hour eviction special, which will I get to watch that? Hmm. It's gonna be 8 to 10. I'm gonna be dang, I might miss this. Man. If I miss it, I'm going to get to it early in the AM on Friday, but I'm not sure. Like I know that I will be in Canada from the morning, so it's not that part of it is not an issue, but just in terms of will I have the opportunity to slip away from my family from 8 to 10? And that's a tall order, especially when I only see them once a year, once maybe twice a year. It's a tall order to slip away from them for 2 hours for that. But hey, man, who knows? I can chat. You're up at the time when you said you would never be up. Because when I came on at this time that other day, you were like, you were on here at 5 a.m. Um, thanks. What's up, MILF man? I'm actually doing some packing. Well, I'm not packing right at this second, but I will continue to pack within the next 10 minutes. I just decided to take a little break because I am tired, but I have a very early morning flight, so things that I got to do before then. I don't even know if I'm going to sleep before the flight because I'm going to be leaving my house in probably the next 3.5 hours at the most. But yeah, the day was pretty good. I actually, funny enough, I don't know if this has ever happened before, but I fell asleep while the challenge was on. That was crazy. I've never fallen asleep during a challenge episode before. But I had been up from early morning. I was out in the city for 8 hours, unfortunately. And then I came home and I ate and then I knocked out. So here I am, procrastinating like I usually do. And maybe I'll be able to watch the challenge episode on the plane or something. I don't know. You will see. But I asked Tasha to catch me up on what was happening on the feeds, and it doesn't sound like much. She told me that, what did she tell me? A final two was solidified between Cam and Chelsea, which I thought they already did solidify a final two, but I guess they are resurfacing those discussions. I guess that's what that means. And then also, they want to get out Rabina. They, as in Cam and Chelsea, now want to get out Rabina instead of Chemo because they're saying that Rabina is getting close with MJ, and they worry about. I guess they're worried about it being like a 2 versus 2 type of thing, where now if Rabina happens to pull out a win, she would put Cam and Chelsea up, and then they would try to work this final two with MJ and Rabina, which would honestly make sense for Rabina because Rabina versus MJ, like stranger things have happened, jury wise, but I don't really see a path to giving Rabina that win because when I say stranger things have happened jury wise, I would have to think back to Taylor's win. But the thing about Taylor's win is there was so much more to it than her just being a person of color. It was like the year after the cookout. It was the very next season following the cookout season. The cookout season had just seen an African American man, I think for the first time, winning Big Brother. I think he was the first one. Yeah. I mean, and it was the first, as Big D would say, it was the first time 2 African American men were in the final two, but it was the first time one of them had won. And then Taylor was the first African American woman to win the US edition of Big Brother, the regular US edition of Big Brother. And there was so much around that, like socially and culturally. And then also, she was able to utilize her pageant skills in a way to assist her towards getting that victory. Whereas if Rabina was sitting in a final two chair, she would have to do a hell of a job saying something to convince me to pick her over even MJ. I know that a lot of people are saying that MJ has just been comps and she hasn't done too much socially. And I'll tell you the truth, like, I don't disagree with y'all. Like, I don't disagree that she has not done a lot on the social side, but at the same time, Rabina has not done enough on the social side that if she sat next to somebody with like what, 8 comp wins, or she has a chance to win more, but like at least 8 comp wins versus somebody who has won an AI arena. It would be hard to see. You have to have a Derek like social game at that point to overcome such a deficit in actual wins. You really do. Because like in the case of Monty versus Taylor, he had more wins than Taylor, but he wasn't sitting here with like not 8, 9, 10 wins, like, and she did have a couple of HOHs under her belt. So it wasn't like her deficit was that significant. Um, but yeah, it would make sense as a play for MJ to want to sit next to Rabina, because if I was MJ, I'd want to sit next to Rabina. So those are my thoughts on that. Looking forward to eviction night. I know that it's going to be kind of anticlimactic. I suppose as of now, I didn't see it myself, but I trust Tasha's takes, as y'all know. Shout out to Tasha's takes. And Tasha's take was that Rabina is going to be the one to go. So then it would be a final four. So by the way, y'all, I told y'all this was not really an all women's alliance. People were like, this is the year of the all women's alliance. And I was like, the women are outnumbering the men by default, not by choice. Even though maybe they might feel like, yes, I'd be happy with a woman taking it, they're not actively working together to make that happen, because they had the numbers. They had the numbers to ensure that it was going to be a women's alliance. I think that what ended up happening is that they took out the men that they considered strong. Like when I say strong, no disrespect. Like I mean strong game wise. They took out the strong gamers in their eyes, or people that could potentially be strong, or at the very least strong in competitions, and they kept the ones that they think they can beat. So that's the reason why they're essentially ending up keeping a Chemo and a Cam over keeping Angela, Leah, and Rabina. Because in this year's cast, the women have honestly been stronger candidates to win than the men. I think that either MJ or Chelsea would take their chances against either Chemo or Cam, and they would win by a wide margin, if not unanimous, as I keep saying. So those are some quick thoughts on that. By the way, this picture is from today. This picture is from when I went to the show. The picture was the only good part. I didn't get a shout out, nothing. But it's all good. But that's all I got. Catch y'all on the flip side. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified of when I drop some more great content. Thank y'all. Have a great night.